not to get too far off the subject, I'll just say I have always thought a lot of stuff when it comes to UFOs is actually side effects in Nokia magic. As I hate to say that because it sounds like everything got to go back to magic, but that I will say Nokia magic.
I think everything does actually. I think it's all connected. I believe, to get on to UFOs for a second, because this topic always gets me going. I think that UFOs is nothing like we're being told, nothing like we think.
Yep.
Nothing. I don't think it's little green men coming visit us in tin cans. I think it's more of a metaphysical or spiritual or paranormal type thing that it's more of a grand intelligence. I think it's something that's connected to everything and can manifest at will, manifest what you want to see at will. It could be just a program, part of the Matrix, a program.
That's
in the
exactly what I've thought. I was like, maybe the UFO is just the way, whatever that is, that's how it's programmed to just fits into the program. This is how it's going to look when it shows up.
Right. Well, each individual has such different experiences with this. I believe that's part of it as well. One person may have, experience with a gray alien. The other one, it's a tall Nordic or a reptilian, and that each experience is completely different and strange, but similar in certain ways. They're taken in their sleep. It's all etheric, or they're having experiments done to them. Now, I think that there's a separation here. I think that the ones that are having experiments done, and it's more of a physical thing, and they happen to glance over and see a military dude standing right there. Okay, that's fucking us. That's us abducting people.
I believe that. We're
putting on chicken suits. We're putting on blue chicken suits and going into people's rooms and taking them. Okay, that's our military fucking with people. Sorry, but I believe if you're going to look over and see a military and they're shoving a probe up your butt, that's probably us. We're probably nefarious and evil like that. So
I believe you on that one, actually, too.
Yeah, I think that aspect of it explained. We are fucking with people. But the other stuff, like where people are etherically in dreams and they're interacting with these strange beings. I mean, I had an experience like this. I know I've had hour-long conversations with something. It's not me. It was something, but, I think it's part of me, but it's hard to explain, It was something other than myself, kind of. And it goes back to, I think that this is part of your spirit guides, your higher self, your consciousness interacting with you, your future self. There could be all kinds of things at play here.
Yeah.
So it goes deep, man. I don't know. That's one of those topics that I'm constantly evolving and changing my thoughts on. I used to think they were little green men coming here on tin cans, and now it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me talking to myself in a certain way that like future me or something.
Yes, I've often thought like that could be like somebody maybe having a magical or spiritual experience, and something neither they're going through or coming back, or something's going on with them in the other world, and what we're seeing up there is just a side effect of something like that happening.
Right. And, I'm very kind of intrigued at what's happening amongst the UFO community. It used to be a hardcore nuts and bolts. These things are little green men, and it's the Nordics and it's the reptilians, and they're coming here. And now it's kind of shifting, and it's kind of encouraging to see, well, they don't know what it is because there's these aspects that don't fit into the nuts and bolts. So a lot of the mainstream researchers are going to consciousness, spirituality. What's the connection?
I've noticed that, yes. Yeah.
And I thought it would go the opposite way. They'd kind of buck against that, but I guess people are smarter than I thought when it comes to this stuff.
You're right. I actually didn't think that stuff was ever really going to catch on. I remember at one point I started hearing more of, which I think could be true, but I'm not totally sold that all of them are. But I started hearing the idea that UFOs might be really demons. And I was like, all right, I could see maybe you're going in like, the right direction. But I think that the fact, like you're saying, that it might be these like unexplainable spiritual experiences, I think that's going in a better direction. And I'm surprised, like you said, to see it going that way.
Yeah. And demons is a whole nother topic. But if you think of if everything is consciousness, and each individual consciousness is here, and we have our own experience as we come into this avatar that we're in, this meat suit. Each experience is going to be so different. Like, you know, you could have been Hitler in a past life and killed a bunch of people, or just some evil scumbag that had, you know, no consciousness and thrived off of evil and killing and hurting people. And then next life, you're helping people your whole life. And it's what experience are you born into? What kind of environment are you born into? How are people around you at play as that individual consciousness experiences life? Now, say that that individual consciousness dies and it's a spirit or whatever after that individual portion, and it's still got that evil mentality, and it hasn't, you know, transcended or whatever happens to where it's in the next life, but that piece is stuck there. Is that the demon? Is, you know, are these the evil spirits that we're talking about? If you can follow what I'm saying.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's pretty deep.
Yeah,
actually.
It goes back to everything kind of all being connected as one consciousness. And if you think about it like that, you have to kind of apply it to everything then, and you get your wheels spinning in a different direction. Just like I like to think right now with everybody that's being douchebags in the world, and everybody that's being stupid and taking the vaccine and ruining our planet for people. I have to think, you know, I have to sit back and think, you know what if this is me experiencing that douchebag consciousness life? I had to experience it sometime, you know, because I think we're all living simultaneous lives. It's all happening at the same time. I don't think time exists as we think it does. And I think that we could, if collectively we could realize that we're part of each other, that we all are connected in some way, and then realize that we're having this experience, this spiritual experience in this physical body, and that's it. It's temporary. Then first of all, we don't have anything to be afraid of. Second, that person is you, and you can be kinder to that person. And if everyone put together this kind of mentality and thinking, man, we would have a completely different and more peaceful society. That's just my, you know, humble opinion, though.
Yeah, you know, I've often wondered, like, you know, is this all a cycle that's just inevitable, and is what's going on just the way it kind of reflects itself into our world? And
Yes.
is this just the way that we're going to have that experience that's going to come regardless or not? You know what I'm
Or how
saying?
about this? Collectively, our consciousness wants to escape this prison that we're in. Collectively, we hate our leaders. Collectively, we don't like the way things are going. And that's how it's manifesting, by causing chaos to get us to react to the chaos, by saying vaccines, COVID. And we're like, fuck you. So we got to come back harder than the consciousness wants us to, because it's trying to get us to grow. It's trying to get us to evolve to the next step by creating conflict, basically, by creating experiences so we can grow. And I think that's what this whole experience is about. We just chose a kind of fucked up time to be in it, you know?
You know, I've even heard Crowley one time worded something like, to get the most chaos and change, you would have to have like two things like polarized to like extremes.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like both sides, and when you do that, you will create
I hate
create
to
the most
say that
change.
I'm agreeing with these fucking people, but it's true, you know?
Yeah. No, you know, he could have even been explaining like this is how we're all going to be fucked later on. You know, who knows?
Yeah,
But,
exactly. They did that too. They like telling us about our future in books and things of that nature. Man, Albert Pike's those letters were extraordinary.
You know, speaking about Crowley and 9/11, get back to that actually. Did you know all the planes had something to do with him? The plane numbers?
I did hear something. Go ahead and explain that, because I remember something, but not really.
Well, there's Flight 93, so I mean that's the numerical value for Thelema.
Yeah.
And Agape. Flight 77 was Liber 77, which is a book that Crowley wrote, and that is Liber Oz also. It's like the commandments or the testaments for a Thelemite. And then there's Flight 175, I think, whatever flight number the other one is. It also correlates with Liber Astarte, which is a book Crowley wrote, and that one's about how to give like adorations and offerings to the gods that you're praying to.
Wow.
So I
Man,
was
that's crazy. It makes me also wonder how many different factions are there in this elite circle that don't necessarily want the same things out of the future, don't have the same agendas, but still kind of collaborate in some way. I don't even know if that's possible, but I get the feeling that it's not just like a pyramid structure. I think that there's a lot of different powerful factions with little groups of people that are fighting for control over the whole system. And that could be why we're seeing a lot of this moving so fast, is because one of these factions is trying to get up over the other. I mean,
yes, I agree with that, actually. I agree with that.
Yeah, when 2020 happened, like, it was like, boom, everything started going off like clockwork. They had this happen, and it was so fast. It was like they are rushing to get ahead of someone else or to get this agenda finished before something happens that's out of their control. You know, I think about that too. Do they know something maybe catastrophic could be on the way? And
I thought that before, actually. I hate to say it, and you know, this gets even more out there. I don't know what your opinion is on this stuff. I'm not completely 100% sold on a flat earth, but I do buy into a dome. Right, and that is even just from experiences in magic, and even, you know, Crowley's Stele of Revelation. In my opinion, Nuit, that goddess there, is showing a dome. I do sometimes think this could be, you know, going back even to Noah. Maybe there's just times when they know that shit is only going to last for so long. Maybe it breaks. Maybe it opens for a reason. Is there something that's just on a time schedule that's going to happen, and they'd rather not people know because they know they'll just fucking lose their mind and go crazy? So do we just fucking brainwash them up until the point it happens and then just start over again? You know, I hate to say something like that, but...
Well, I want to kind of address both the things you just talked about, the flat earth and the catastrophes. First, the flat earth, I am going to say right now, and a lot of people hate me for this, I don't know what shape the earth is. It could be a fucking pizza. I don't know. You know, I'm leaning towards round. I'm leaning towards a planet, but I'm not going to say for sure because I don't know. And anytime anyone says they know something for sure, they're full of shit because nobody knows. So anyway,
I'll even, just to add to what you said, sometimes a lot of what I'll say to people, let's picture you taking the earth, cutting it in half, having a dome that big and putting it on Jupiter. You wouldn't fucking know. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah.
You could see that as a flat earth, maybe.
Could. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We could just be a realm that exists somewhere, you know, like some holographic thing, you know? It could be
a
nothing.
petri dish.
A petri dish. Oh, but, you know, that's my thoughts on that. But as far as the catastrophic cycles, I think that it is a cyclical thing that occurs with major catastrophes and resets and extinction level events throughout our history. I mean, we've seen evidence of it. I've had Randall Carlson on a few times to talk about this exact thing, and he believes that we're headed towards another one of these cycles, and there's evidence that we are. There's a lot of things happening with our sun, with the area of space we're heading into. I mean, there's a lot more space rocks. We're supposedly heading into a grand solar minimum, if you believe in space. You know, all these things that could possibly happen that could give us a reset. Our magnetic north is moving rapidly towards Siberia. That could cause magnetic reversal and wipe out our power grid and cause major chaos across the planet. So there's those aspects that could happen anytime. I don't know. Do they know that one of these things is imminent and that's why they're doing all this and getting their underground bases ready or something? Who knows?